Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? This time, we're tackling Astaroth. Yeah, you heard that right, the king of hell, or at least one of them. We've been digging into this text about the top dogs down there, and let me tell you what we found about Astaroth. Well, it's not your typical demon story.
It really makes you think twice about those simple good versus evil narratives. Like, take his rank. First, Duke of Hell. Right there in the thick of it with Beelzebub and Lucifer, part of this evil triad, the text calls it.
Right, we're talking seriously high up in the demonic hierarchy. But here's the kicker. He didn't get kicked out of heaven, not in any epic showdown. He chose to leave. Walked away from paradise, can you believe it? It's all because he liked how things rolled down here in the human world. Freedom over heaven? That was Astaroth.
It makes you wonder what that says about free will, right? I mean, the typical fallen angel story, it's all about being cast out, no choice in the matter. But Astaroth, he had this whole other level of agency, like he actually thought about it and made a decision. Not exactly your typical demon move.
Especially when you consider where he came from. This text, it calls him Prince of the Order of the Thrones. What does that even mean? It sounds kind of important.
Oh, it's huge. We're talking the highest angelic orders here, the ones practically joined at the hip with God. They were the support system for his throne, literally, and then went out and made sure his will happened throughout creation. That was their jam.
So not just an angel, but like angelic royalty. And he just walked away.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What would make someone at that level, someone with that kind of access, just decide to bail?
That's what's so interesting about this whole thing. Astaroth doesn't exactly fit the evil demon mold. Like on the one hand, there's this whole temptation thing. August, that's his month apparently. Whispering in your ear, trying to get you to slack off, be greedy, tempting you with all the wrong ideas.
The classic demon move, using those persuasive whispers to prey on our weaknesses.
Exactly. But then, and this is the part that really blew my mind, demonology also paints him as this powerful force for inspiration. Artists, especially.
Painters, writers, musicians. He's the one pushing them, urging them to dig deep and really go for it, to unleash their creativity like it's his mission or something.
Almost like he's this muse, right?
Yeah.
But instead of divine inspiration, it's all about tapping into something. Well, something else. I don't know about you, but I find that whole angle pretty fascinating.
It really makes you think about his past, his time as a seraph, all that wisdom, the direct connection to the divine will.
Because they were the ones closest to God.
Exactly. Imagine that, hearing it straight from the source, understanding God's will like more than anyone else. And even though Astaroth bailed on heaven, maybe, just maybe, those instincts, they stuck around, transformed, into this talent for sparking creativity down here in the human world.
So he's not handing down God's word anymore, but he's still pushing for that connection, that expression of something bigger than ourselves. It's like a different flavor of divine inspiration. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And it goes beyond just inspiring artists. This text, it claims he can answer any question, any language too. And get this, it says he can control snakes, turn people invisible, even led treasure hunters straight to riches hidden by magic.
Hold on, are we talking like actual buried treasure?
That's what it sounds like. And not just any treasure either, the kind protected by spells and enchantments. It's like he's got this mental map of all the hidden things, all the secret knowledge.
And he could just, give that knowledge away?
If he wants to, apparently. This text doesn't hold back on his power. It claims he can even change destiny, both human and divine.
Whoa, hold up. Change destiny, like rewrite the stars kind of stuff.
That's pretty wild, right? This goes way beyond just answering trivia questions about ancient languages. We're talking about messing with the very fabric of existence.
That's heavy stuff. It makes you think about all those big questions, Free will, fate. Are we really in control, or is it all preordained? And if someone like Astaroth can mess with that, where does that leave us?
Exactly. Philosophers have been wrestling with those questions forever. Free will versus determinism, it's the ultimate debate. And this whole destiny angle with Astaroth, it just muddies the waters even more. Like maybe that line between choice and fate, maybe it's not as clear as we thought.
Yeah, this is getting seriously existential. Astaroth isn't just some demon in a storybook. He's making us question the very nature of reality. Pretty trippy for a deep dive, wouldn't you say?
And it gets even weirder when you look at how he's depicted. It's all over the place, really. Pointy wings, check. Serpent in hand, definitely. Sometimes he's riding a dragon. Other times he eyes the dragon, legs and all. And just to mix things up, sometimes he's standing on a dog. Talk about mixed
Like
messages.
the artists could make up their minds. Angel or demon, beast or ruler.
Right, this isn't your run-of-the-mill cookie-cutter demon. He's a walking contradiction, visually speaking.
Just like everything else we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But there's this one detail, it really stuck with me. The wings. They're feathered, which is kind of weird, right?
Definitely unusual for a fallen angel. You'd expect those leathery bat wings, the classic look. But Astaroth. Feathers.
Yeah, isn't that more of an angel thing?
And think back to those seraphim. They were known for having colorful feathers. Not white, but like vibrant, full-on color.
Wait a minute, are you saying those feathers, those maybe colorful feathers, you think it could be a link to his past? Like a little piece of his seraph life that he never quite shook off?
It's definitely an interesting thought, isn't it? We're talking about a being who walked away from paradise, chose a different path. But maybe, just maybe, a part of him still looks back. That connection to the divine, to who he used to be, maybe it's not as simple as leaving it all behind.
My mind is officially blown. We've got this high-ranking angel, ditches heaven, inspires artists, doles out wisdom like it's going out of style, and on top of all that, he might still be carrying a torch for his old life. This is a lot to process. It's almost like, I don't know, maybe good and evil, those labels, they're just not big enough, especially when you're talking about someone like Astaroth.
It's that duality, right? Temptation, yeah, he's got that covered. But then you've got creativity, this thirst for knowledge, even a kind of search for truth. It's like he embodies both sides, light and shadow, all wrapped up in one being. Makes you think twice about how we categorize, well, anything, really.
Exactly. He's full of contradictions, throws the whole good versus evil thing right out the window. So after all this, after this deep dive into Astaroth, what's the takeaway? What have we learned from this guy, this angel-turned-demon who seems to defy every expectation?
I think it shows us, even with angels and demons, there's always more to the story, more than meets the eye. You can't just slap a label on something, call it good or evil, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Astaroth. He's a reminder that there are layers, nuances, contradictions even. And that goes for us too, right? We're not so simple either.
We like to think we are, but
But life's not black and white, is it? It's all those shades in between, the hidden depths, the unexpected connections. Astaroth just might be a mirror, in a way. We've got that potential too, the light and the dark. It's how we deal with it, I guess. How we choose to express it, or maybe even how it expresses itself through us. Who knows?
makes you think, that's for sure. And the fact that he walked away from heaven, chose a different path, what does that tell us? Maybe seeking knowledge, connection. It doesn't have to happen in just one way, in one place. Maybe it's bigger than that.
Maybe the answers, the truths we're all searching for, maybe they're not so straightforward. Maybe they're way more interesting than we ever imagined. And maybe, just maybe, we find them in the most unexpected places, even when we're digging into the lore of the kings of hell.
Well, folks, there you have it. Astaroth. Angel, demon, artist, muse, walking contradiction. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.